happy Wednesday, everybody. My name is Amanda. This is Yogalates. So for today's class, you will just need a mat, a nice sturdy surface beneath you, as well as a ball. You can also use a block and a little ball. One's a little deflated, so I'm going to grab my larger one for some other moves. So let's go ahead and start with our warm-up. We're going to start on the floor today. In a tabletop position, wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, nice flat back. Go ahead and hammock your belly, lowering your stomach, gazing up towards the ceiling for cow. And then rounding your spine, bringing your gaze towards your navel, towards your thighs for cat. And doing a few more here with your breath. Inhale as you arch your spine. Exhale as you round your spine, bringing your gaze towards your navel. And then from here, go ahead and do a few hip movements, maybe side to side, maybe making some circles with your hips. Anything that feels good for you, just making sure you do the opposite direction. And then come back to your neutral spine, nice flat back. Go ahead and bring your palms a palm print forward, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up. Coming to our first down dog this morning. Maybe pedal your heels one at a time, raising and lowering them. Core remains engaged. Relax your neck down, drawing your gaze back towards your navel, back towards the tops of your thighs. Go ahead and ground both of your feet towards the earth. Walk your hands back towards your feet and just have a forward fold here. Relaxing your neck. Go ahead and come to a half lift, hands to shin, flat back, pulling the crown of your head away from your body, and then back to our forward fold. We're doing a few neck circles here. And then place your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Draw your left hand up towards the ceiling. You can have a deep bend in that right knee. And then just switching sides, left hand to the outside of your right ankle. Right arm reaches up overhead. You can also have a deep bend in that left knee. Go ahead and draw your hands back down towards the floor. You can have a micro bend the knees or feet flat. Go ahead and roll up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Roll your shoulder blades back. Roll them forward. All right, let's go ahead and get started. You won't need any equipment just yet. Go ahead and draw your elbows wide behind your head. Take your right leg out to the side, long right side of the body. We're going to draw that right knee up towards our left knee, tap it back down, right knee towards our right elbow. So just moving the right leg, core remains engaged. Moving with your breath here. Just the right leg moves, really grounding through that standing left leg. You can have a micro bend in that standing left leg or keep it completely straight. Moving with control. Of course, if at any time you need to grab a sip of water, please do so. Listen to your body. Slow and controlled. If you lose your balance, that's okay. Just settle back into your left grounded foot and come right back into it. Give me one more wherever you're at. From here, we're going to flow from a single leg mountain to a warrior three, still working that right side. So go ahead and ground through your left foot again. Reach your arms up overhead. Draw your right knee up towards your chest. 90-degree bend in your right knee. Maybe it's a little bit lower, maybe it's a little bit higher. Flex your right toes. From here, we're going to hinge forward and kick that right leg back, keeping your right hip down, flexing your right foot still, and then come on up. Back to single leg mountain, right knee up towards the ceiling, and then hinging forward, kicking that right leg back. Be sure to keep your hip down. So we're not opening up our hip here. We're keeping our hip parallel. Think of your hips as two headlights, bringing down towards the floor beneath you. Arms can be overhead, hands at heart center or out to the side, whatever feels good for you. Moving here with control, grounding through your standing left leg. Leg comes up and then leg shoots back. Give me one more wherever you're at. Go ahead and come back to center. From here, we're going to sink our hips down. We're going to come into a chair pose. Arms reach up overhead. We're going to sweep our arms back as we come to our tippy toes. Sweep the arm forward as you lower the heels. Lifting up and then lowering down. You can have your legs zipped together. You can also have them hip width apart. Feet are parallel. Heels raise as you draw your arms back. Heels lower as you reach your arms forward. Moving with control. Give me one more wherever you're at. From here, still staying low, we're going to go ahead and draw that right leg up and over. Arms reach out. You can hold it here. You can also pull that left hand underneath for eagle arm, eagle legs. You're welcome to hold it here, challenging your balance, challenging your core, or you can also add a crunch, tapping your left elbow down towards your right knee. You're also more than welcome to unbind the right leg and just hold it in that chair. So with your left arm underneath your right, you can also clasp your hands. You can draw your hands to your shoulders. Gentle tap down, release back up. Let's do a few more on this side, whether you have the eagle legs or they're unbinded into a chair. Keeping it going. Go ahead and give me one more wherever you're at. Unravel your hands. Go ahead and draw your left leg up and over, making everything nice and symmetrical. You knew it was coming. Place that right hand underneath your left. You can bind your hands, or you're welcome to place your hands on top of your shoulders. From here, sink your hips lower, coming into that eagle pose, eagle arms. You can also unbind your arms. You're welcome to hold it here, or if you'd like to add more challenge, more heat to your core, add in those crunches, tapping the right elbow down towards your left knee. You're welcome to hook your left toes, or you can just have the left foot hanging out towards the side. You can also tap your left toes to the outside of your right ankle. Core remains engaged. Another option, of course, is to draw both of your feet down, holding it into that chair, still tapping your right elbow down. A few more here. Give me one more wherever you're at. Go ahead and come on back to standing. We have our elbows wide to the left side. Extend your left leg out to the side. We're drawing that left knee up across the body towards our right elbow. Back down, and then left knee towards your left elbow. Core remains engaged. Twisting, moving with control. Straight left leg as you extend it out to the left side body. Strong point to those toes, really grounding through the base of your right foot, grounding all 5 pinky toes, grounding your heel down. Left knee comes up towards your right elbow, tap back down to the side, left knee up towards your right elbow. Keeping it going. Almost there. Give me one more wherever you're at. And then still with that left leg, we have our warrior pose here. We're going to go ahead and draw our arms up towards the ceiling. You can have your hands at prayer, or for more stability, you can have your arms out to the side for airplane arms. Go ahead and draw your left knee up, really grounding through the sole of your right foot. Left toe is flexed. Your knee is hip height, maybe a little bit higher if you're more flexible, maybe a little bit lower. Doing what you can today. Hold that left knee high. Engage your core. Big inhale. As you exhale, extend and shoot that left leg back. Your left hip remains down, arms forward, flexing your left foot, and then coming back up to single leg mountain, and then kicking that left leg back for warrior 3. Flowing here, moving with control, slow movements, moving with your breath, slow and control. Core remains engaged to allow you to keep that left knee lifted nice and high. Doing the hand placements that work for you. Give me one more wherever you're at. And then come on up to standing, back to that single leg mound. Release that left leg down. Maybe shake it out. We're going to come into warrior one. So your left toes are facing out from the left side of your body. Right toes facing forward. Give me a deep bend in that left knee. Nice relaxed legs. Arms out by your side. From here, go ahead and come on up and then back down. Just moving here a few times for your breath. Bending deeper into that left knee each time. Your left knee should be tracking out over your left toes, grounding through the pinky edge of your right foot. Keeping it moving. Give me one more wherever you're at. Coming on up and then bending as deep as you can, holding it here. Elbows are wide behind your head, both elbows. We're going to tap our left elbow to our left knee, come back up. So just moving to the left side, core is engaged. Maybe sink your hips lower. Imagine that you're between two panes of glass, so your upper body remains facing upward. You're not twisting over to the side and tapping down. Gaze remains forward. Elbows are wide. Maybe your left elbow taps your left knee. Dig deeper into that left knee. Sit lower. Opening up your hips here, slow and controlled. Give me a few more on this side, and then we will flip our toes to do the other side. Keeping it going. Give me one more wherever you're at. Come back on up to standing, arms out to your side. Go ahead and pivot your left toes forward. Pivot your right toes out. So we're in that warrior two stance. This time bending deep into that right knee. Ground to the sole of your left pinky. Your right knee is tracking out towards your toes. Sit deeper. Bend even more. Go ahead and come on up to standing. Arms reach up overhead. Draw your arms down. Each time from drawing your arms up to coming back into warrior two, bend deeper into that right knee. Opening up your hips more. Stretching even deeper. Core remains engaged. Still going. Give me a few more wherever you're at. All right, give me one more. Bend as deep as you can. Draw your elbows wide behind your head. I got a little ahead of myself there. Go ahead and tap your right elbow down towards your right knee. Coming on up back to warrior two torso. So same thing here. Your elbows are wide. Your gaze remains forward, so you're not looking down. You're not looking up toward the ceiling. You're keeping your chest nice and open. Your left shoulder is stacked directly over your right. Maybe your right elbow taps your right knee. Maybe it just comes super close. Sit deeper into that right knee. Bend that right knee even more. Slow and controlled. You got this. Keeping it going. Give me a few more wherever you're at. Right elbow taps right knee. Come on up. Last one. Make it your best one yet. Come back up to standing. Go ahead and flip your right toes forward so both your toes are parallel. Reach your arms out towards your side. Go ahead and come to a forward fold, hinging at your waist. You can have a micro bend in your knees and then releasing on down. You can place your hands to the floor on a block or on that ball if you would like. Go ahead and have a deep bend in the knees. And we're just going to move from side to side. As you bend into that knee, extending that opposite leg, stretching out the lower body here. We had a lot of standing poses, holding those moves, challenging your lower legs, strengthening your quads, strengthening your hamstrings, strengthening those glutes. A few more side lunges here. You can have your chest lifted so back is flat. You can also fold completely over. Come on up to standing. We're gonna add a little bit of movement here, make it a little bit more fun, still in that wide-legged fold. From here, arms out to a T. We're gonna go ahead and come to a left side lunge. Come over to a right side lunge, left hand to your right toes. Come through center in a squat, and then we're gonna reach our hands through. So right hand to left foot in the lunge, left hand to right foot in the lunge. Come deep into your squat, sinking your feet down, and then pulling your hands through. Alternating left side lunge, deep squat, reach under. Side lunge, deep squat, reach under. This is probably the only time we're moving this fast. And of course, you know what I'm gonna say, you can always slow it down as much as you need to. Wherever you're at, give me one more full set. Left side lunge, right side lunge, squat, reach under. All right, come on up to standing. Grab that ball that you have. We're gonna come into funky warrior. So left foot forward, right foot back. We're gonna go ahead and grab the ball on our left hand. Deep bend in your front left knee. Reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. Place your left hand to the inside of your right thigh. You can have that ball, or you can do it with just your hand. We're gonna come into that lunge as we hold that ball to the inside of our right thigh. Keeping it going. Left hand to the inside of our right thigh. Right arm up toward the ceiling. Core remains engaged. So your left foot is forward, right foot is back. You're holding that ball to the inside of your right thigh. Give me one more wherever you're at. Come on up to standing. From here, just switching sides. I'll show you this side. Right foot forward, left foot back. Go ahead and draw your left hand up. Ball is in your right hand, so leg that's forward. Go ahead and place the ball or your right hand to the inside of your left thigh. So you're kind of leaning a little bit to the right, but you want to keep your upper body nice and straight. If you can't reach, bend your knees deeper. Yes, get nice and deep in that front knee. From here, go ahead and lunge down, back up to standing. And maybe one side, you're a little bit more bendier, more flexible, totally fine, completely normal. Still keeping that right hand or that right ball to the inside of your left thigh. Deep bend down, coming back up. Give me one more wherever you are. Come on up to standing. Go ahead and still have that ball. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. You can also have your legs zipped together if you'd like. From here, ball between your hands. We're going to squat low, placing the ball to the outside of our left ankle. Come on up to standing, halo wrap, and then squat down with the ball to the outside of our right ankle. So we're alternating that ankle and then wrapping that ball up and around. Most important thing is you come up to standing, that core stays completely still. As beautiful as it is to all look like genies in a bottle, no hip movements here, keeping everything still. Core is engaged. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your thighs so that even if they're not touching, arms reach up overhead, and then tap down. So you're alternating the wrap of the ball around the crown of your head. You're also alternating which ankle you tap first. Give me one more on each side, wherever you're at. All right, go ahead and set that ball off to the side. Once you're done, maybe grab a sip of water. All right, calm down. Find your high plank. You can also work from a tabletop with your knees directly under your wrists, your knees under your hips, wrists are under your shoulders. You can also work from that high plank. From here, we're going to kick that right leg up for a donkey and then draw our right knee down, extend it up. So we're alternating between a donkey kick and a single leg mountain climber. So right knee is the only thing moving. Your core is still. Whether you are in that high plank, you can also gently release your left knee down from the tabletop. core still remains engaged. Gaze down between your thumb and index finger. Avoid straining your neck, looking side to side. Right knee up towards ceiling, strong point through your toes. Give me one more wherever you're at, whether you are in that high plank or tabletop. Set that right leg down, maybe shake it out. We're going to do the same thing on the left side, keeping everything symmetrical. Lift your left toes up to the ceiling, left knee to your chest. Core remains engaged. Whether you are in a high plank or a tabletop position, doing what you can. Your wrists always stay directly underneath your shoulders. Keep it going. Single leg mountain climber, single leg kick, toes are pointed. Wherever you're at. Last 3, 2. All right, give me one more wherever you're at. Release your knees down if they're still lifted. Go ahead and find that ball. You can also use a block. Just going to use this larger inflated one. Your feet are hip width apart and parallel. Your toes can be touching or they can also be parallel. Extend your arms out in front of you. Nice flat core. From here, we're going to lean our body back and then come upright. So most important thing is that your body stays completely flat, leaning back as far as you can, coming back to upright. Trying to keep the top shoelace portion of your feet down. If you tuck your toes, it's not as challenging. Of course, you can always have your toes tucked if having the top shoelace portion of your feet bothers you, or if you have any ankle issues. Core remains engaged. All right, we're gonna hold it back. Hold it in that lunge as far back as you can. Your core is nice and flat, so your body's at diagonal. We're gonna raise our arms overhead and then lower them. Your arms are straight. Ball between your palms, raise and lower. Same thing here with your feet. If your ankles bother you, of course you can come on and tuck those toes, but trying to keep the top shoelace portion of your feet grounded to the floor. Arm raised, arms lower, holding that hinge back. Core remains engaged. Maybe hinging further. Challenge yourself. Yes, you can. Arms straighter, body straighter. Give me one more wherever you're at. And then go ahead and come back up to standing, or to kneeling rather. Thought I was standing for a second. We're going to still keep that ball. We have a bird dog, so we're going to come back to our tabletop. We're going to keep that ball under our right hand. Left hand is planted, your left wrist under your left shoulder. We're going to extend that left leg as we roll our right hand out. So you're rolling your right hand as you extend that leg. So opposite arm, opposite leg, strong point through your right toes. Your core is engaged. You're drawing your navel deep into your spine. Your back is flat. Right arm rolls out as your left leg extends back. Keeping it going. A few more, just like this. Right arm, left leg extends back. Give me one more, wherever you're at. Go ahead and draw your left knee down. I'm going to switch out to a smaller ball. Large one just will not fit behind my knee. Place the ball, or imaginary ball, behind your left knee. From here, keep your left heel close in towards your glutes. That allows you to hold that ball nice and tight. We're going to lift that left leg up. So we're going to come to a curtsy. Your left knee taps the outside of your right shin and then kicks up. Strong point through your toes. We're working that outer left glute here, slow and controlled. Your core is engaged. If you want to add more heat to your core, you can also bring that right elbow wide behind your head. You can place your right hand behind your back, palm facing up. Having your hand on your lower back also allows you to remember and to remind yourself to keep your back flat. So if you're arching your spine or you're hammocking your belly, it allows you to be aware of that and correct it whenever you need to. Give me one more wherever you're at. Curtsy into a kick. From here, grab the ball, place it between your thighs. We're going to bring our hands back under our wrists. We're going to tuck our toes, coming into a bear crawl position. So your shins are hovering, your gaze is down. You're welcome to hold it here. You can also squeeze that ball, remembering to keep your core engaged. Tiny squeezes. Your shins are hovering completely parallel to the floor beneath you. Tiny movements here, tiny circles. Drawing your knees in towards one another. Working those inner and outer thighs. And then releasing down, you can go ahead and place the ball underneath your left hand this time. Do the same thing on the right leg. So we're going to extend that right leg as we roll our left hand out. Roll it back in as you draw that right knee in. Back to starting position, holding it parallel to the left knee. So right leg straighter, left arm straighter, left arm, right leg are moving. Bending and extending as you raise that right leg, rolling your left hand out. Core remains engaged here. Keeping it going. A few more movements here with your breath. Slow and controlled. Really extend that right leg further. Extend your left hand longer. Give me one more wherever you're at. And then release everything down back to our tabletop. Go ahead and place the ball behind your right knee, both hands back down. We have our donkey kick, drawing your right heel close in towards your glutes and into a curtsy. So your right knee taps the outside of your left shin and then toes back up towards the ceiling. Your heel is close in towards your glutes to hold that ball or that imaginary ball just in place. Your core is engaged. You're drawing your navel into your spine. You can also have your left elbow wide. You can also place it on your lower back. Challenging your core here. Still going. Still moving. Give me one more wherever you're at. Donkey to a curtsy. And then go ahead and release that right knee down. Grab that ball from behind your right knee. Place it back between your thighs. From here, we're going to tuck our toes once more. Wrist staying under your shoulders. Tuck your toes, coming back into that bear crawl position. We're going to pike our hips up, pressing your heels into the earth, and then coming back to our bear crawl. So alternating between a bear crawl position with your knees hovering, shins parallel, piking your hips up, using your abs to lift your hips higher into that down dog piked up position. Keeping it going. Core is engaged. Bear crawl to down dog. Give me one more wherever you're at. And then gently releasing your knees down. We're going to go ahead and come and lay onto our left side. Just pretending like we're laying at the beach, nice and relaxed. You can prop your left hand up, extend both your legs back, grab the ball in your top right hand, arm reaches up overhead. We're going to draw our right leg and our right hand towards one another, reaching. Maybe the ball taps, maybe it just comes close. The most important thing is that your right hip stays stacked directly over your bottom left. You can also draw your left knee up for more support. You can also just do the leg. Adding an upper body for more of a challenge. Right leg straighter. Keeping it going. Give me one more. From here, place that ball behind your top right knee. You can still have your bottom knee bent or that leg straight. You can box out your top right hand. We're going to tap our top right knee in front and then draw our knee up towards the ceiling. So you're closing that hip and then you're opening. You do not have to touch your right knee to the floor. Just move it towards that direction. Avoid letting your body roll forwards and roll backwards as you draw your knee up towards the ceiling. Still going, still moving. Keeping it going. Right knee taps down towards the floor, it does not have to touch, and then right knee up towards the ceiling. Keeping that ball behind your right knee by keeping your right heel close in towards your thigh, in towards your glute. Give me one more wherever you're at, and then we're going to come up to a seated position. Coming back to a seated position. From here, grab that ball. Your feet are bent out in front, so you have a deep bend in your knees. Ball between your palms. Feet are flat. We're going to roll our upper body back and then back forward. So arms straighter, rolling your body back, and then back to the starting position. Upper body becomes upright again. Keeping it going, roll back. Trying to challenge yourself. Try to roll back further each time, keeping your core engaged. Arms straighter, ball between your palms, rolling back and then back upright. Go ahead and give me one more. From here, go ahead and roll on back with your ball. We're going to place that ball under our right leg again. We're going to hold that knee in. We're going to extend our left leg straight. Elbows are wide. So from here, we have bicycle legs, except our left leg is straight, our right knee is bent. The ball is underneath your right knee. You don't want to tap the floor with your right toes or any part of your left leg. So keeping everything hovering, keeping that challenge on, keeping it going. Bicycle legs, keeping that ball under your right leg. Still going, still moving. Give me one more wherever you're at. And then go ahead and keep that left leg straight. We're going to remove that ball from our right leg. Our right leg is up towards the ceiling. We're going to roll that ball up as we crunch and then roll it down. So you're trying to keep that left leg completely still. Try to keep it hovering. Of course, you can always release it down. We're rolling up, shoulder blades lifted, and then back down. Right leg straighter, left leg straighter. Strong point through both of your toes. Keeping it going. Raise and lower. Right leg straighter. Left leg pointed. Toes hovering. Give me one more. Go ahead and release both of your feet down. Place the ball underneath your right foot. So your right heel is on the ball. Your right toes are grounded. Your right heel is semi-close towards your glutes. We're going to lift our hips up. From here, you can also keep your hips down if you like. Trying to hold your hips up to also activate the glutes. Extend your left leg long. Strong point through your left toes. Left leg raises, left leg lowers. So your hips are parallel. Avoid letting your left hip slouch down, maybe looking down and checking. Your core is engaged. Your glutes are squeezed. You're working your glutes by keeping your hips lifted. You're also working those hamstrings. You're working your right calf. Left leg raised, left leg lower. A few more just like this. Then we're going to come back to kneeling. Give me one more wherever you're at. Keep that left hip lifted. Yes, you can. Go ahead and gently lower the left leg down. Release that ball. Go ahead and come back to our kneeling stance. From here, we're going to hold it in that lunge, or that lean back position, and we're going to go from side to side, working those obliques. If that hurts top shoelace portion of your feet, you can also do this from a seated position with your arms and legs extended, straight arms, and side to side. Keeping it going, trying to keep your feet flat if you're in that seated position, or top shoelace portion of your toes if you're kneeling. All right, give me one more each side. Beautiful. Go ahead and roll on now towards your right side, keeping that ball in your left hand. You just pop your head up with your right hand, legs straight or your bottom knee bent. We're going to hold that left leg straight, tap up, and back down. You can also always do just your leg. Most important thing is that top right hip stays directly over your bottom right. So if you're rolling forwards or you're rolling backwards, either place that top hand down or bend that bottom knee up. Keeping it going. Working that outer left hip on this side. Left arm, left leg straighter. Give me one more wherever you're at. And then go ahead and place that ball behind your left knee. Bend your left hip close in towards your left thigh, in towards your left glute. You can still keep that bottom knee bent or straight, wherever you prefer it. Go ahead and box out your top left hand. We're going to tap our left knee down and then left knee up towards the ceiling. So just moving here with control. Left knee taps down, and then left knee up towards the ceiling, slow and controlled. Think slower, the better. Getting all those muscles to burn. Working everything that you can. This is your workout. Don't cheat yourself. Keep it going. Left knee taps down, left knee up to the ceiling. All right, from here, go ahead and release that ball down. We're going to come back to our seated position, knees bent. Arms are overhead. We're going to hold that roll back. Arms reach up, arms reach forward. So arms are straighter, ball between your palms, your gaze remains forward. You can always sit for more of an upright position or round your waistband back towards the floor. Your feet are planted into the ground. You can also always bend your knees more. You can also always have your legs completely straight. Doing what you can today. We're going to roll all the way back, laying on our back for our last bit of class. Core is engaged. Arms raised up overhead, arms forward. Give me one more. Go ahead and roll on back, all the way back towards your back, laying down. From here, place the ball behind your left knee. Your right leg is straight, your left knee is bent, elbows are wide behind your head, crunching up, trying to keep your shoulders hovering. We have that left bent knee, right leg straight bicycle. Moving with control. Try not to allow your right leg to tap the floor. It's always hovering. Going as low as you can. Same thing with the left toes or the left heel. Trying not to tap anything, keeping everything to a hover. Squeeze your glutes, engage your core. Your lower back is pressed deep into the floor. If you find that your lower back is arching up, or if you have any discomfort whatsoever, don't lower your right leg as far. Maybe have a soft bend in that leg. Just doing what you can. Give me one more wherever you're at. Go ahead and release your head down. Try to keep that right leg hovering. Release the ball from your left foot. Left leg up towards the ceiling. Right leg is straight, long, hovering. Left toes up towards the ceiling. We're going to roll up and then back down, crunching all the way up. Think about reaching for your toes, reaching farther. Gaze remains up towards the ceiling, rolling that ball up your thigh, up your knee, up your shin, maybe up your toes. Yes, you can. Reaching further, reaching higher. So close. We're almost there. Core is engaged. Give me one more. And then bring it on down. Go ahead and draw your left heel close into your glute. Place the ball underneath your left heel. Your right toes are planted. We're going to lift our hips up, or you're also welcome to keep your hips down if you like. If you want to add more glute work, keep those hips lifted. Extend your right leg long to a hover. Hips are parallel, so keep that right hip lifted. Don't let it droop down. From here, right leg raised, right leg lowers. Core is engaged. Your shoulders are pressed into the floor, so we're not doing a full wheel. Right toes pointed, right leg straighter, up towards the ceiling as high as you can, and then coming down to a hover. Same thing here. You don't want to let that right heel, right toe, any part of your right leg tap the floor. Keeping the challenge on. Remembering why you showed up on your mat today, working so hard, right hip lifted. Give me one more wherever you're at. Right leg raised and lower, and then release your hips down if you have them lifted. Go ahead and grab that ball from underneath your left heel. From here, we're going to tuck the chin. We're going to draw right leg long, left leg up to the ceiling, and we're going to cross the ball underneath our left leg, back under, and then we're going to switch. So pass the ball right to left, left to right behind the right leg, switch. Right to left, left to right. So the ball is passed under your thigh twice for each leg, crunching up more. Keeping it going, crunching higher. Shoulders are lifted. Doing what you can, legs straighter. You can also have a 90-degree bend in your top knee. Go ahead and give me one more on each side. And then relaxing your head down, set the ball up to the side, draw your knees into your chest. Maybe roll from side to side. Go ahead and bring your feet up towards the ceiling for happy baby. You can grab underneath your feet. You can grab your shins on the back side of your thighs. Whatever feels good for you. You can also roll from side to side. Nice lower back release. Draw your knees back in towards your chest when you come to center. Rock and roll yourself a few times, as many times as you need to. And we're going to come right back just to where we started. Coming back to our tabletop position, wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Doing a few cat and cows here with your breath. Hammocking your belly, gaze is lifted for your cow. And then rounding your spine, bringing your gaze toward your navel for your cat. Moving here with your breath. Give me one more on each side. Each movement, each breath. And then go ahead and lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Reach it under and through the right side body. Let's do this 2 more times. Left arm up, under and through. Third and final time, we're going to reach that left arm all the way under, maybe placing your left ear on the floor. Not sure what prompted that. You can also place your right hand behind your back so your hips are lifted. You can also kick that right leg out to the side like a little kickstand. My dog has his zoomies this morning, apparently. Go ahead and place your right hand down if you have it lifted, and reach your left arm up towards the ceiling, and then back down. Now for the right side. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, under and through the left side body. 2 more times here with the right arm up towards the ceiling, under and through. 1 more time, third and final time, right arm up, reach it under and through, reaching that right arm far, maybe placing your right ear on the floor. You can also place it on a block. You can bring that left hand behind your back. You're welcome to keep your hips lifted with both of your feet pressed into the floor. You can also extend that left leg out to the side like a kickstand. Enjoying that stretch. Wherever you're at, place your left hand back down, left knee comes in, right arm up to the ceiling. Place both hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, bring your hands up, palm print forward, and lift your hips up. 1 more down dog. Pedal the heels. Walk your hands slowly and gently back toward your toes. Have a forward fold. Maybe shake your head, yes, no, side to side. You can grab opposite elbows and sway side to side like a rag doll, keeping that soft bend on your knees as you're swaying. And wherever you're at, release your hands back down to the floor. Come to a half lift, hands to shins or knees, crown away from your body, and then releasing back down to forward fold before rolling all the way up slowly. Roll your shoulder blades back. Roll them forward, keep widening your hips. Nice big inhale. Let's do 1 more for good luck. Fantastic work, everyone. Thank you so very much. Again, my name is Amanda. This is Yogalates. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Make sure to drink plenty of water, stay hydrated. I'll see you next time.